All right, I'm going to go ahead and get us started. Thank you, especially to Ms. Chris Bessler for being here tonight to help us kind of go through for our parents what to expect in this last few weeks of the senior year of Homestead High School. Who knows, we might have some junior parents out there too that just want a sneak peek. I'm not sure, but appreciate everybody's time and for joining us tonight. And thank you and look forward to hearing from you. I'm just going to turn it over to you if that's okay.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great. Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Bessler. I am one of the counselors at Homestead, the chair of the department as well, and I really am happy to be here. When you said just now, oh gosh, a couple weeks remaining in the school year I can't believe it. I know every year goes by very quickly, but it really does go by. They all just seem to go by a bit faster, especially for those of you that are parents of seniors. This is a really pivotal time in your families. I'm here tonight as a counselor, but I'm also a mom of two, and both of my girls have recently graduated from college, and so I know all of the feelings and the emotions that go into having a child. In one moment, you want to give them a big hug, and the next moment, you want to kick them out of the house. And I completely understand all of that. And please believe me, it's all normal. And I've been through it as both a mom as well as a school counselor. But I really am happy to be here tonight just to go through a few things, sort of inform you of a few things that are going on. A lot of what I will talk about is related to the transition from high school to college. Most of our seniors are pursuing some sort of either 2-year or 4-year college degree, but we are working with all of our seniors from now until graduation. But a lot of the nuts and bolts things have to do with the preparing for college. So I think it's important in looking at me as the counselor and you as the parents and talking with our seniors it's really important for us to all work together to get them to graduation. They get a little squirrely these last several weeks of school, and routine does continue to be really important for them. Just getting to school every day, getting up in the morning, their normal food, their normal sleep routine, those types of things, that's going to help them get to the finish line and quite honestly help them get to whatever their next plan is after they leave Homestead. Please also continue good use of their technology. Have them practice good habits before they get to college. We recently did a survey of our students. It was primarily focused on a bit younger grade than our seniors, but it did indicate that many of our seniors our students are spending anywhere from 3 to 12 hours a day on technology. And so it's just something as we're continuing to help them develop good habits. Gaming and social media and those things are just usually not healthy ways for them to be spending quite so much time. And so just be aware of that. Just please be aware of that. Attendance. Attendance is still really important. We are encouraging the students to be at school every day, to be on time at school every day. And also that's going to help them secure their exam exemption, those exam exemption privileges, because that is linked to attendance. That's one of the benefits of it. So we want to make sure that they're getting to school every day. The seniors do have the benefit of third trimester of their senior year. They do have the benefit of having the ability to waive all of their exams in their classes at the end of the trimester. If they do have a B- or above and 6 absences or fewer in each class, they are able to exempt all of their exams, not just the one, like they normally would be able to do. So that's a big privilege that the kids like. So just working together to, help them cross that finish line of graduation. And truly, if there's anything that we can do at Homestead, please don't hesitate to reach out to us because we do want to help. So before we look forward anymore, I do want to look back a little bit with just a summary of the 309 of them, and a little bit of the journey from the counseling perspective of where they've been and what they've been up to this year. So We have sent out over 2,000 transcripts on behalf of the senior graduating class. Roughly 82% of them have submitted transcripts to colleges. At this point, that's a very, very normal number. And then many of the seniors are designating in Navient student where they are planning to attend, college. But there are many more who have not done that yet. So just as a nuts and bolts, Navient Student is that tool that we use to keep track of all of the transcripts that we send, all of the colleges that they are applying to, and then the admission decisions of all of those schools. So admit, deny, or waitlist. And we want to make sure that they do keep that list updated. We will be sending final transcripts by July 1st. To the school where they will enroll. And the only way that we can submit that final transcript is if they indicate it in Navient Student. So that is for sure one of the to-dos that we're going to be talking about tonight. So with all those transcripts that we sent, we only need to send the final transcript to the college or university that they will be attending. And that needs to be noted in Navient Student. If they are uncertain of how to do that, please have them come in and see their counselor. We spend a lot of time towards the end of the year, a lot of time with our seniors again, and we can certainly help facilitate that. Facilitate that process. Sometimes we get requests, we get concern phone calls from families at this time of year saying the college is saying that they don't have the transcript and they're still waiting for a transcript, and you will start, as it gets closer to May, you will start to receive those email reminders. But please know that we can't send that transcript until it documents that they have actually graduated from high school. And so it needs to be after that. It needs to be after that graduation date so that they have that graduation stamp on their transcript. That does not happen until after they walk across the stage. So we begin the process of sending those transcripts then the week after graduation. So I find it interesting, and I get asked questions about what is this class doing? Again, looking back at the transcripts in the colleges that they have applied to. And I have just a listing of schools here that I'll share with you. I always find it interesting, and we certainly in the counseling office, we certainly track these things. We did this year have 131 students apply to Madison. We had 102 students apply to Minnesota, 85 to UWM, 55 to Marquette, 48 to Indiana, 17 to Northwestern, 31 to MATC, that's up, which I think is a good thing, 21 to ASU, 18 to Boulder, and the one that surprised me the most on this list, these are all pretty normal, pretty typical numbers for us, but the University of Iowa, we had 64 students apply to the University of Iowa. It is still too early to know all of the acceptances and to know all of the commitments, so where our students are going to be enrolling. But these numbers are all very consistent, and everything we've been hearing from our students is the admission decisions do seem to be pretty consistent with years past. So just want to share that with y'all.
So can you expand a little bit on the MATC, why that you say that's a good thing?
So I think that MATC is a great option for students. I also think that with everything that is going on, and I was planning on talking about that next, actually, everything that's going on. No, not, I wasn't going to answer that specific question. So that's a good one. But everything that's going on with financial aid this year, I think that students utilizing all options that are available. And I think for families, so let me give a brief overview. The federal government made a decision to update and simplify the process for applying for need-based financial aid. And without getting into a lot of details, it is very safe to say that they royally messed it up. Nothing was on time. Nothing has been done well. The colleges are absolutely scrambling to secure enrollments for next year. They want to move forward with orientation and registration and housing and advising appointments and all of those wonderful things that our seniors should be doing right now. They're hesitating to do because they quite simply do not know how much college is going to cost because of all of the issues with financial aid. I do think slowly but surely they are slowly but surely they are figuring things out, and they are processing the applications the way that they should, which is allowing the colleges then to put together those financial aid awards. But they are way, way, way behind in the processing. And so the colleges, of course, can't notify all of you of what those award packages are going to be. So it's been a really, really, really stressful year in terms of that application and that process. So I have had more families reach out and just say, I can't wait any longer, or I don't want to. We're going to go with an option that is very reasonable financially, but still will transfer into a 4-year school. And MATC offers a really great option for that. They do have a 2-year fully transferable program into the UW schools. We don't have a lot of students that take advantage of this program, but it is nice to see that families are seeing this and are taking advantage of it and taking it seriously. So that was what I meant by that. So I think that's a good thing, that they're not giving up on school. And they're going with what is a very cost-effective and quality education. And so if they do want to get that 2-year degree, then they can transfer into a 4-year school. So that was what I meant by that. And I am happy to answer any questions too. I do have my outline to get through, of course, but I am happy, especially at the end. Usually the way we do this is at the end. I'm happy to field any questions that you might have along the lines of financial aid and that communication piece with the schools. We really do have an issue with our students reading their emails. I have every day this week, I have seen multiple seniors in my office, and they have questions about things related to the transition to college. And they are not questions that in the high school counseling office that we know the answer to, but they all have portals. And they are receiving emails directly to the portals of the colleges where they are intending to enroll. So it's really critically important that they read those emails, or they're not going to be able to schedule the appointments, the advising appointments with their professors related to their majors, that the housing, roommates, obviously financial aid, scholarship, or, orientation for those students that do need to register and sign up for summer orientation. They're receiving all of that in email. And one of the hard parts of parenting a high school senior is you have all had a pretty significant amount of involvement and even control on some level of the information that is being shared, that is important information from their school. And when they transition to college, we get kind of cut out of that. The one that always made me laugh when my kids were in college was the fact that they sent the bill to my students, my kids, and they don't send it to you. And so your child has to give you permission to pay their bill. I always found that a little bit crazy. But just so you know that really is happening, or is about to happen, and the bills are due in July. But again, with everything going on with financial aid, colleges are extending that deadline of notification. So the decision day that was May 1st, many schools this year now are saying that it's either May 15th or June 1st. So just please check the websites of the colleges and universities that your kids are looking at, and they will be able to give you that accurate information. And again, all of that information is being mailed to the students. It is not being mailed to the parents. I do hope things are going to get cleaned up, and that everyone will know by May 15th, hopefully, what their decision is going to be. And then again, that doesn't impact at all when we send those final transcripts. Again, that's going to be through their Navient student account. We get through graduation, we get them to graduate. There's some updating and final grades and clearing up of final grades and exams and things like that with the senior class. And then usually by like the 25th, we have all those transcripts sent, but we do say July 1st just to be safe. And we will send it to the school that your kids designate in Naviance. There's a survey they need to fill out. This class is doing a great job with the civics exam. So any student who is graduating from a public school in the state of Wisconsin must complete the 100 question civics exam, and I'm really happy to say that of the 309 students in the class, we have 67 students who have yet to take that exam. So actually, for this time of year, that is a really good number. So you'll want to check with your senior and just make sure that they are one of the not 67, so that they are one of the students who has completed that civics exam. And if they haven't, it's not a problem. You can, it is an online exam. If you can't find it on the website, feel free to email me or your child's counselor, and I'll be happy to send you the link. We do that a lot at this time of year. I would just say at this point that when looking ahead and looking to your kids graduating, I do like to pause when I speak with end of the year senior parents of just to reflect on how you were feeling right before you graduated from high school. I certainly didn't have everything figured out. Most of us did not have everything figured out at that point. We wanted to, and we wanted to ride off into the sunset with this ultimate and supreme confidence that we knew everything. And we didn't, and honestly, they don't either. The reason I say that is we are certainly still advising them, we are still teaching them, and 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 we know that you are still parenting them as well. And our parenting role certainly changes as they grow up, but it never ends. My kids are 26 and 23 now, still parenting them. It's a little bit different now, but it never ends. This summer is going to be tough. They're going to be moody. Probably you're going to be moody too. I certainly was with all of that, with all of that emotion, but all of that really is normal. They are feeling overwhelmed. They're feeling like they're ready to leave, but then they're not sure that they really are. And it's a really tough time. I promise you, you're all going to survive it. And your relationship with your 18-year-old or almost 18-year-old will continue to grow. You both are going to be better off because of it. I guess I have one piece of advice, and this is something that I really do believe in, and it is related to that communication and technology. Just please make sure before they leave that you have a communication plan in place with them. It is different now than when we were in school. For those of us who went to school, it really is different now. And it isn't just that Sunday night phone call or the once a week phone call. We have the ability to communicate with them via texting and FaceTiming and all of those things. But whatever your plan is, and I do recommend either a FaceTime or a phone call, you want to hear their voice at least once a week. You want to give them their space and their freedom to grow as well, but you also want to hear their voice. Make it a plan, make it a schedule, make sure that it is in their calendar each week for you to communicate with them. I didn't do that with my first daughter, and that was a mistake. And I think that that's why when I'm on these calls with families, why I always mention that with senior parents as they're trying to adjust and figure out what those next steps would be. That really is the only piece of advice that I'm going to give you. Just make sure that you do have a communication plan for when they do leave, and you do want to hear their voice at least, hear their voice at least once a week. It's not just about texting. We really look forward to continuing to work with this class. This is a great senior class. We have so many awesome kids. We're going to miss them for sure once they're gone, but we're going to hang in there until the very end. And we do want to continue helping you. So if there is anything that we can do to help you, please don't hesitate to ask. And I am happy to take any questions that anyone has about the rest of the school year or transitioning out. So I can leave it open to questions at this time.
Chris, thank you for all the information. So I had some questions regarding like the logistics of graduation, like how many tickets do we get? What are the times? I kind of did a little perusing on the Homestead website. I didn't really find what I was looking for. Will emails be going out, or how's that going to work?
Yes. And could I ask, is Mr. Ebert going to be on the next part of this?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
tonight. Okay, so he knows, normally when we do, sometimes he's on the call with me. And sometimes he's not. And so he is going to have all of the information related to graduation. So I think I'm going to hold up. I think it's at 6 p.m. I think that I did confirm the time of it on that Friday evening. But in terms of the number of tickets, the number 10 is in my mind, but please confirm that with Mr. Ebert. I do know that there is on our website, there is a specific section for graduating seniors on our website. So if you're on the Homestead High School website and if you do a search for graduation or seniors, it should come up. But I also know that they are about to start a series of emails with all of this information in it. So you will receive that very shortly. But yes, Mr. Ebert is going to be the one who will be able to he'll be able to give you all the details of graduation.
Thank you.
What are some of the things that the senior class does towards the end of the year? My older son graduated a couple of years ago, and they had a week of fun activities. One of the days I just remember being anything but a backpack day.
I remember that day.
He had a grocery cart. But anyway, just like, what are some of the fun things that they do? Anything, any way parents can kind of be jazzed and excited about helping their kids out towards the end of the year with that stuff?
So a lot of that is planned. I mean, the students are doing the planning of the things. So if
Yeah.
there are theme days that they're going to have, or I don't want to use the term senior prank, because of course we don't support senior pranks, but that's pretty harmless, anything but a backpack. And so that really is going to be, the students, what they do. I haven't heard, there's the senior dinner, but you are all part of planning that. So you are well versed on the senior dinner that they'll be doing together. Sometimes the students will come together and like the senior class will come together and go to a Brewer game they will do something like that. I have not heard any plans about that. And then they're just busy. They continue. We try to keep them busy with all the clubs, the organizations, the sports, just the normal activities that they're doing. Prom, of course, was last weekend. And so we just try to keep them busy doing the normal school things. But the senior dinner is a big one. The kids have a ton of fun at that. That is always a really, really great event, which you all help make a really, really great event. The senior, oh gosh, I can't think of what they're called. The senior Grams. I don't know.
Grad greetings.
Grad greetings. Yes. Thank you very much.
We just sent that out yesterday.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yep,
And
they're
those
due
are
by
really,
May 1st.
yeah, those booklets are really neat too. And just to send well wishes to the seniors, and then each one gets a little book that you all put together for them. So that's kind of a neat thing that they do as well.
Mm-hmm. There was something in the chat that came through. Is anybody trying to see where that was?
I can say it. I wasn't sure if.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I can check the chat. If you want to put questions in the chat, I just opened it too.
Oh, that's okay. So I'm not sure if you can answer. I actually have two, Chris.
Sure.
So should my son end up notifying the universities that he's not going to?
Oh,
And, oh, go ahead.
So sure, I can answer that one. Absolutely, they should. Once they have decided on a school, they have paid their enrollment deposit, and then if there is a housing deposit, paid the housing deposit. Once those things are done and they are a confirmed candidate at a college or university, it is a really, really nice courtesy to let the other schools know that your kids are not attending. And the reason for that, it's pretty straightforward, that if those colleges do have any sort of a wait list, when students turn them down, it does allow them to go into their wait list then and open up spots for other students. So yes, and it's as simple as an email. The kids will ask this a lot, actually. It is as simple as an email. They just need to send an email to the college or university that they are not attending and just say, I have decided to attend, and feel free to name the school, or they can just say, I have decided to attend another college. Thank you. And then their name.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
I figured that they should, but it's back to your earlier comment about the fact we don't get a lot of that information. So
No, isn't it? It's so frustrating.
yes, it is. My other question, and you might not know this one. So my son's going to Minnesota
Okay.
There's reciprocity. I did apply for that. Do you know anything about timing on when you get notified if Wisconsin accepts reciprocity?
So the Wisconsin-Minnesota reciprocity agreement is absolutely still in existence.
Yeah.
And as long as you have filled out the application that you need to for students attending the schools and the public schools in Minnesota, you should be all set with that.
Okay.
And it's pretty comparable. It's usually within a couple $100 of what it would be to go to Madison. So it's pretty comparable tuition wise. College bills normally come out in the month of July. That's usually when you'll receive your first bill for that first semester. They divide it out by semester, and then the bill for the second semester will come out in December. So if you have any questions or concerns about that, I would just call the financial aid office at the University of Minnesota. But as long as you've done that form, that
Mhm.
reciprocity form that you need to fill out, you should be good to go.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. There's a question I can see right now in the chat for extra graduation tickets. Yes, I would reach out to Nancy Kress if you need them. And if you know you have extra tickets, once the tickets come out, if you know you have extras, if you could give those back to Nancy, that would be great. Because it's really about fire code, is my understanding. And that's why they have to limit the number of tickets that families receive. But yes, we usually are able to grant extra tickets. Extra tickets if those are needed. So yes, Nancy Kress in the principal's office should be able to help you with that.
I was just curious about like how the honor cords work and like who, you know, does each department kind of have a process for that? And, you know, how do they know that, you know, how does that work, I guess?
Okay, so the honor cord, sorry, I'm letting my dog in. The honor cord is my wet dog. The honor cord works like this. So it isn't by department, it is based off of GPA. And so there's the honor cord, I believe. I should have reviewed this before this call. I believe the honor cord is a 3.0 or above, and then the high honor cord is a 3.5 or above. So there are two different honor cords that are given at graduation. I'm quite confident those are the GPAs. And they we do calculate them like right before graduation. Literally, it is right before graduation. And then we will give out the cords right before graduation. And so there's the white cords are the 3.5 and above, and then the yellow or gold cords are the 3.0 to 3.499. And we've done it a couple different ways of how we hand them out. Normally, we do hand them out right before they walk into graduation. If we hand them out ahead of time, then sometimes they get forgotten and it can cause a lot of drama that nobody needs. And we don't have extras. We order almost like the exact number that we need. We have very, very, very few extras.
Is it just the one cord then, or do you get cords for like theater or arts or anything like that? Okay.
No, the history of Homestead High School, there's been a long tradition of a very, very unified high school graduating class. So we really, we don't have anything on the caps and gowns. We really discourage any sort of decor, any pins, anything. We want a very unified graduating class. And so everyone is wearing the same gown, the same cap, and the only difference is going to be a white or a gold cord.
I'll throw this question out there. Senior skip day happens. How should parents be thinking about that? Or, you know, what I know you're obviously not going to support anything like that, but it's just anything you have to say about it, we'd be welcome to listen.
Sure. Sure. It's just so funny because this, I mean, senior skip has been going on forever. We do not support senior skip day. Okay. I sure wish that if we did, I wish that they could plan truly something as a class, like a brewer game or doing something like that, that is healthy for them to do, a little bit structured, likely can keep them out of trouble in what they're doing. But We cannot condone obviously we cannot a senior skip day. We've seen 100 different things that they do, but what I will say is, we don't see a lot of planned activities for years. Even before COVID, it just isn't. There are a lot of seniors in the building on senior skip day. I will also say that. All of our athletes cannot participate in senior skip day, and depending on other clubs and organizations and the rules that they have. So it's not like everyone participates. Another question that I get asked a lot is, as parents, should we excuse them on senior skip day? That is, I mean, that is up to you. That is up to you. Some parents do, some parents don't. Some of the kids are 18 and they can call themselves out. So I'm happy to answer any questions about it. We wish that they weren't doing that. We want them all healthy and making good decisions. It's something over the past like 5 to 7 years, and not because of COVID, but it's just one of those things that I don't really understand, because they're not coming together as a class and planning something. If you hear differently, please let me know.
Right. Will do. I just
Yeah.
know it's a question that pops up for a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of
it
parents,
does.
and
Yeah,
they're
it
not
does.
quite sure how to handle it. And I
Yeah,
thought,
yeah.
cards on
And
the
that's-
table, it would be good for people to hear from you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I did not excuse my kids for senior skip day. I'm just going to say, the mom in me, I was like, no way. There's a consequence for this. And if you're going to skip, you're going to do the crime. You're going to pay the time. So,
Yeah.
but it didn't work out anyway, because they had spring sports. So
What would the consequence be of an unexcused absence?
a detention per hour, 1 per hour.
Okay.
And they cannot walk at graduation, and they've been really strict about that this year with prom and other things like that. So they would have to make up those detentions.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, of course.
Are there any other questions from the group? Don't be shy.
I'm here. You've got me.
Chris, with the National Honor Society, I know you said they had the cords. Do they have their pin? Is that something they can wear at graduation, or?
My understanding, so yes, so those students, they may have pins from other honor societies that they're in. My understanding is that they do not wear those at graduation. It's just the cords. It's the cap and gown, and it's just the cords. I would ask that question though of Mr. Ebert when he's on the next call, because he has all the info on that. But I don't believe that they even wear their National Honor Society pins. I think it's just the honor cords.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Well, having a child who recently graduated, it was incredibly helpful to have the counseling office as a resource and the teachers as a resource. My son was dragging his feet getting out of high school. And so having such a supportive staff to kind of make sure that, I's are dotted, T's are crossed, and we're good to go. I know it was a great experience for us. A little like heart attacks going on at home while he was dragging his feet, but we got him through.
Yeah.
So I just know from personal experience, the team at Homestead does a really fantastic job supporting the students and the parents, just to make sure everyone gets through it,
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. It's a journey. These next couple of weeks, my opening comments I meant that with all sincerity, that it's hard. I mean, it's hard on them. It's hard for them to stay engaged. They're so ready to be done, but then at the same time, they're terrified to be done. And especially like today, as I look outside right now, the weather is so awful. So these are easy days to keep them engaged at school. But when the weather starts to get warmer, and we consistently have that, it's just they do become really distracted. So for all of us, trying to keep them continuing in their classes, and then, obviously through AP exams for those students who are taking AP exams. Could I ask a question of you all? I have a question, just because of this fiasco with financial aid. Are you finding that the communication from the colleges and universities, have they been communicating well, do you feel, with parents about things that are going on, or is it mostly with the kids? If anyone is willing to share, like, what has that communication with the colleges and universities been like?
Go ahead. I was just gonna say for us, it's in that portal. I think you can put in more than one email address. So we, like, all three of us are getting all the emails, which
You
is
are.
yeah, a blessing. Yes.
That's great. That's great.
I would say a couple of the universities, I'm getting the communications. And the other one, it was a lot of more mailings. And so that was
Right.
helpful. But they've been responsive if I've sent emails with questions.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's good.
So at this time, we kind of mentioned grad greetings earlier, so I wanted to do a little plug for that. So as Julie said, May 1st is the deadline. The links are in short kilts, and they will continue to be for the next couple of weeks. And then the other thing that the PTSO does towards the end of the year is leave a legacy. Cindy, I don't know if you have anything that you want to say about that. That's the senior class will donate to leave a legacy, and it's usually a project that the committee and Principal Ebert work on together. So Cindy, did you want to say a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. I am on the Leave a Legacy committee with Tanya Bogacek, Tracy Curtin, and Ann Kruger. And it's just one of the many things that you guys will hear about over the next few weeks. But Leave a Legacy, as Roberta mentioned, is the gift that senior families give to Homestead just to honor the graduating class. And I was hoping that we'd be able to announce what our gift is this year, but we're still working out some of those final details. So you'll have to wait on that. But examples of gifts from recent years, in 22, I know they put in the garage door that connects the cafeteria to the outdoor courtyard. Last year, the gift was dining tables to use in that outdoor courtyard so that when the weather is nice, the kids can go out and eat, or it could be used maybe as classroom space, stuff like that. I know one year, I think they put in signage for the Highlander walkway. So it's just a nice way of recognizing the senior class, but also giving something fun for students to use at the school. So we'll be meeting with Eric over the next week or two, finalizing those details. And about mid-May, all senior families will receive an email with the details and a link to make a donation. And the past few years, it's been great. We've been able to give gifts for different levels of donations. So the bricks will be laid in different areas around school, and it recognizes your student and the family. So that's a nice leave behind as well. But you'll get all of those donations in an email, or I'm sorry, all those details in an email. Again, the donation window will be mid-May until about a week or two after graduation, just because there's so many things going on. We want to make that window open so that you can give your gift. So more to come. Just wanted to make everyone aware that that is one of the things that we'll be rolling out both in short kilts and through email.
Great, thank you.
Mhm.
And then another thing that was mentioned was the senior dinner, and that is the Sunday before graduation. And the PTSO, we have a committee. Tanya Bogacek is on that one as well. She's spearheading that, and that's just an amazing time for the students. That's just students, except for some volunteers. So if you want to volunteer, you will be able to get a sneak peek and be able to be there at the dinner, but that's the only way you can be there. So otherwise it's just students, and they do like a slideshow and have a dinner and just kind of, review. I don't know, Chris, if you have anything you want to add to that, but.
I don't have anything with the, regarding the senior dinner, except I know the kids absolutely love it. And I know you all work really, really hard to make it a great event. It's a ton of work to put that together, and you all make it a great event. One thing I did want to say is we have had some really nice days over the last couple of weeks, and they have opened that door next to the cafeteria, and it has been awesome to see the kids just getting a little fresh air, sitting at those tables outside. That is a well-utilized space. So thank you for that, for our previous grads, for donating that, because that is that outdoor courtyard. When I see that getting used, it really is wonderful for the kids to just have a break in the middle of the day, get some sunshine, get some fresh air before finishing up the rest of their day. So yeah, that was those two things were great gifts.
That's great to hear.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
Well, we're getting close to time. Unless anyone has a burning question that they want to make sure they throw out there, I think we can begin to wrap it up, but going once, twice.
I just
Anyone?
want to reiterate what Julie said, Chris, working with the school and over the years with the counseling department, it's been a pleasure. You guys have always been really receptive, and as a parent, it's very appreciated. So just wanted to give you guys another shout out.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I feel really lucky. This is my 17th year at Homestead, and I feel incredibly lucky. I love coming to work every single day, and that is true for the other 4 counselors in our office. There isn't one of us who doesn't truly and sincerely appreciate the support we have from parents, the amazing kids that we work with. And I think part of it too is when you look at what these kids are as freshmen, and I don't work with freshmen, and I have my caseload's a little bit different. I have a smaller caseload than some of the other counselors, but like to see the growth of these kids from 9th grade through 12th grade it truly is unbelievably rewarding, and having such a supportive community. So I really appreciate you expressing that you appreciate what we do. I really do. I like my job a lot. I like Homestead a lot. I think it's a really special place. I wouldn't still be there. I think it's a really special place. I'm old now. I've done this a long time. But I really do like it. But I appreciate that. And I will share that with the rest of our department as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I think we can all say it's a pretty special place.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that too.
Of course. Absolutely. Meant it with all sincerity.
Of course. Well, thank you again so much for making yourself available to talk to this group.
Yeah.
We have recorded it in case there are parents that want to come back and take a look at it, or parents who may have missed because they've had other commitments. And so it will be recorded, and we do get quite a bit of views after the fact. So thank you very much. Really
Okay.
appreciate it.
All right. All right. Take care. Let us know how we can help. Well, I'll
Thank
get
you so
there.
much.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
Thank
okay.
you.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.